Hashtag Black Lives Matter. This is a consistent trend we often see on the news and especially social media. But do we honestly understand what it means or why we even say it? I mean, some of us only say it when an unarmed black man is shot and killed by the police, and another part of us has substituted Black Lives Matter with All Lives Matter because we just don't understand the reason behind it. But that's why I'm here today, to explain to you the reasonings behind this movement and why we say Black Lives Matter. It all began in February 2012 when George Zimmerman, the captain of his neighborhood watch party, reported a suspicious person in his neighborhood. He is then instructed to remain in his vehicle and to wait until police arrive. But instead, Zimmerman disregards these instructions and begins to follow 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. Moments later, neighbors report hearing a gunshot. The sound of that gunshot is what killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. In 2013, Zimmerman was acquitted in the murdering of Trayvon Martin because it was in self-defense. Regardless, we watched a man get away with murdering a child. And Trayvon isn't the only person who has a story like this. In 2014, Tamir Rice was shot and killed by the police for playing with a BB gun. He was only 12 years old. And just like Trayvon and just like Tamir, I am an African-American teenager. That could have been me, that could have been you, or anybody else that you may know. And in 2017, Mapping Police Violence has collected data for all the police killings that has happened in that year. Exactly 1,147 people were killed by the police in 2017. 25% of those were African Americans, although African Americans only make up 13% of this country's population. And only 1% of those, out of all those killings, only 1% of them were convicted in the murdering of all these people. And because of that, people are becoming so angry. Artists like Jay-Z and Beyonce and entertainers such as Colin Kaepernick are speaking out about these situations. Colin Kaepernick's Take a Knee movement has shook this country, literally. Most people believe that what he's doing is very disrespectful. But you also have to remember that we once believed that Rosa Parks, when she would not give up that seat, we also believe that that was very disrespectful. And in sports, we're taught that when someone is hurt and injured, we take a knee. When there's a fallen soldier on the battlefield, we also take a knee. We are not trying to be disrespectful by this. With all means, we love our country. We just want to make things better. So we're doing this by taking a stance. Well, technically a sit, but I mean, you have to look at both point of views sometimes. We take a knee because this country is hurting. We are injured. Because we know that racism is still in existence today. And that is why we take a knee. And a lot of times, it isn't racism. It's just the fact that a lot of us don't know because we grow up in these communities where we don't see a lot of diversity or we just don't understand. For example, in Flint, Michigan, there's a public health crisis. There's been one since 2014. There has been a lead seepage into their water. They can't wash their hair, they can't take showers. And all of this because of environmental racism. Yes, environmental racism is a thing. It's when you take a community, mostly a poor community or minority community, and put all these pollutants and toxins into their community. Or let's take it home, for instance. Say Oakwood. Oakwood is a beautiful community. We all can agree to that? Oakwood is beautiful, right? The grass is so much greener on the other side. If you go down the street a little bit into Dayton, you see trash on the ground. There's cigarette campaigns on every store. There's corner stores everywhere. In Oakwood, you wouldn't find that. This is environmental racism. So I encourage everyone to just get informed about what's going on in our own communities. You may be wondering, like, how does Black Lives Matter concern me? Well, a few years ago, John Crawford was shot and killed in the Beaver Creek Walmart. That could have been you, that could have been me. You probably know John Crawford yourself. This is happening in our own backyard. We just need to become more aware about it. And I know you may be wondering, well, all lives matter. Yes, all lives matter. Well, at least they're supposed to matter. But if all lives matter, women still wouldn't be marching for their rights. Dreamers wouldn't have to fight for their right to be in this country. And I wouldn't have to stand here and say, Black Lives Matter. I'm not here to change anyone's mind. I'm just here to educate you and hope that you can take something home with you. In order for us to keep moving forward, we can't keep taking steps backwards. Thank you.